לצור אישנו, נקדמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. נקדמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. ונרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור אישנו. ונרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור אישנו. נקדמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. נקדמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. נקדמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. Page 131. Ya'alol Sadai v'chol asher bo az yeranenu kol hatzeyar. Then shall all the trees of the forest shout for joy at the presence of the Eternal One, for God is coming. Page 131. Ya'alol Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alol Sadai. Hayar lalayla Ya'alol Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alol Sadai. Hayar lalayla az yeranenu kol hatzeyar. Az yeranenu kol hatzeyar. Az yeranenu kol hatzeyar. Az yeranenu kol hatzeyar. Ya'alol Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alol Sadai. Hayar lalayla Ya'alol Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alol Sadai. Hayar lalayla az yeranenu kol hatzeyar. Az yeranenu kol hatzeyar. Az yeranenu kol hatzeyar. Az yeranenu kol hatzeyar. Ya'alol Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alol Sadai. Hayar lalayla Ya'alol Sadai v'chol asher bo Ya'alol Sadai. Hayar lalayla. Page 134. Hariu l'Adonai kol haaretz, bitzchu v'renenu v'zameru. Raise a shout to God, all the earth. Break into joyous songs, songs of praise. Page 134. Ay, 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ay, ya la 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 la, ay, 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 ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ay, ya la la la. L'Adonai kol haaretz, l'Adonai kol haaretz, l'Adonai kol haaretz. Bitzchu, ranenu v'zameru, ranenu v'zameru, ranenu v'zameru. זמרו לאדוני בחינות, בחינות וכל זמרה. זמרו לאדוני בכינור בכל זמרה. יאר לילה יאר לילה לילה יאר לילה יאר לילה yar la 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 yar la 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 yar la 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 arimu l'Adonai golaret l'Adonai golaret l'Adonai golaret yitzchu ranenu vezameru רננו וזמרו, רננו וזמרו. זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור, בכל זמרה. זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכל זמרה. יאר לה לה לה, יאר לה 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 לה. Yar la la la, yar la 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 la, yar la la la, yar la 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 la, yar la la la.
Erev Tov, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us here in the sanctuary as well as online. This evening is such a beautiful and special evening. We are able to celebrate the graduation of our B'nai Mitzvah students, and we have the opportunity to welcome a tiny, tiny, tiny little girl into the covenant, which we'll share her name just a little bit later. So thank you so much for everybody for joining us, both here in the sanctuary and online. And of course online, please do click on the link to open our Siddur. And so I'd like to invite Alex, who's already up here, to share with us a blessing on page 127.
We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope, for Shabbat holiness, which inspires sacred living, for Shabbat memories, glowing even in darkness, for Shabbat peace, born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God.
Thank you so much, Alex. And let us turn now to welcoming the Shabbat bride on page 138 with Lakadodi.
Lakadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat Lakadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Ishmiyanu el ha'meyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad Leshem u'tiferet ve'litilah Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat Lechadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor ha'beracha merosh mikeden nesucha סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לחדובי לקראת לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לחדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי יבא אורך קומי אורי 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 שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה וחדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לחדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה ימין ושמאל תפרוצי ואת אדוני תריצי על ידיש בן פתי ונשמחה ונגילה וחדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לחדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמונה עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לחדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לחדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה יאללה לילה 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 לחדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לחדוני לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
So friends, at this time I'd like to welcome the Robinson family up onto the beamer to light our Shabbat candles. But before they light our candles, we're going to zoom in a bar mitzvah family that lives in Adelaide, and because of the COVID restrictions could not travel to Victoria. And so Abby, who is becoming a bat mitzvah later in the year, you can see her on screen over there. Abby, welcome to TBI in Melbourne. Hope you're doing well, and please lead us in the prayer as we get ready to light our Shabbat candles. Over to you, Abby.
How wise is our tradition to command us to take time to feel joy. How wise is our tradition to command us to study Torah, and what joy it is to be guided by her words. How wise is our tradition to command us to seek rest on Shabbat, and what joy it is for our souls to be refreshed. How wise is our tradition to command us to kindle Shabbat candles, and what joy it is to marvel in their light. How wise is our tradition to command us to be mindful on Shabbat, and what joy it is to remember God's holiness.
Amen. Thank you so much, Abigail. And so, Zach, you're getting handed the candle to light our Shabbat candles, and I think you and your mum will share in the blessing for lighting our Shabbos candles.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Let's turn to each other in a COVID-safe, friendly way and wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. And to those online, Shabbat Shalom. Please use our chat to wish each other a Shabbat Shalom. And so we turn to Psalm 92, Mizmor Shir, L'Yom HaShabbat, page 140. We may be seated.
טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. עלי עשור ועלי נבל עלי היגיון וכינור. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך במעשה ידיך ארנן. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. איש פר לא ידע וכסיל לא יבין את זאת. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון.
And so we turn forward just one page as we share in Shalom Aleichem, page 142, welcoming the Shabbat angels.
Shalom Aleichem, מלאכי השרת, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. מועכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. מי מלך מלאכי המלאכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום מלכי השלום מלכי עליון. מי מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Let us rise for the Chatzi Kaddish, page 144.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
אמן.
בעלמא דברך חירותי להמליך מרותי, בחיי חון וביום חון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעלם ולעד מעלמיה, יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתבר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו לילה מן קל ברכתה ושירתה, קדוש בחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמה, ואמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
And as we are seated, we welcome Ellen up onto the bema to share with us the blessing for the evening, the Ma'ariv Aravim.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night as heaven spans to infinity. You set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
Amen. Thank you so much, Ellen. And so we welcome Max onto the bema to share with us the blessing of Ahavat Olam, of loving and appreciating the world in which we live.
Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Amen. The Shema, page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
And leading us in the the Via Hafta on page 154. We have Sam Lazaro and Kelsey Simon.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושינתם לבניך ודיברתם בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך ובדרך ובשכתך ובקומך וכתבתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לתורתם ונתנו על ציצית הכנף וצל תפילת והיה לכם לציצית וריתם אותו וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם ולא תטורו אחרי לבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זרים אחריהם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Well done. And so as we head into the Emet prayer on page 156, I invite James Ross to lead us in this prayer, which obviously, as we know, immediately follows the Shema of Yechatecha and falls part of that genre of prayers of the Shema.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Amen. And our song of freedom, Mi Chamocha, page 158.
מי כמוך באלים ארוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לבני משה ומרים, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, ארוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ים בם בם בים ביריבם, ים בם בם בים בם, ים בם בם בים ביריבם, ים בם בם בים בם, היי ליי ליי ליי, ים בם בם בים בם, היי ליי ליי ליי, ים בם בם בים בם. ונאמר כבר ארוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה ארוני קהל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. Spread the shelter of your peace over us, guide us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, shield us from hatred, sorrow and pain. Ashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, Ve'amidenu malkeinu lechaim, lechaim, lechaim.
We turn to prayer of welcoming and acknowledging Shabbat, page 162, V'shamru.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
So my friends, we turn to page 164 as we rise for the Amidah. And of course, as you know, our tradition is we'll share the first three blessings out loud together, then continue with the prayers of our hearts, the meditations that may be on the pages ensuing. Page 164.
אדוני זבדי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, כומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת זרע. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לישני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום, יהללוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Continue with the prayers of our hearts or the words on the page. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, Adonai tzuri v'goli. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. And may be seated.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו, אמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו, אמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Va'al kol b'nei Adam. May God bring peace to the entire world, and we say, Amen.
Amen.
So the last week has been a little bit touch and go. We've been trying to figure out, could we have all of our B'nai Mitzvah students here in the congregation, and we're so delighted to have all of you. And what makes an evening like this even more special, if that's possible, after hearing the wonderful prayers from our students, is to welcome a little girl into the covenant, into the Brit. And so Pia and Richard, I invite you to join us up here on the bima with the little one's grandparents. I'm not mentioning her name just yet because you will. So please come and join us here. And so joining Pia and Richard, we'll have Benny and Denise and Steve and Maggie. So please come on up. And so we say, Baruch atah Adonai mesameach horim im yilhadim. Praised are you, eternal God, source of the universe, who causes parents to rejoice with their children. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai, barachnuchem mibeit Adonai. Blessed is this sleeping little girl, hopefully who we now welcome. We bless you in this house of God. Mishaberach avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, v'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel, hu yivarech et hayalda harakah hazot, v'yizku aviyah v'imo legadla ulachakma, v'yihu yadeha v'liba v'el emunah v'nomar. Amen. May the God of our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless this beautiful little girl, this infant, and may her father and mother have the privilege, and it is a privilege, trust me, of raising her, educating her, and encouraging her to attain wisdom. I don't think she needs to attain wisdom. She's already the smartest one in the room, right?
Of course.
May her hands and heart be faithful in serving God, and we say, Amen. And so, Richard and Pia, it is your privilege to officially welcome her into the covenant, as Abraham did for his son, but you do for your little girl, for your daughter. You can take your mask off, by the way. When you're up here, this is the privilege.
Okay, cool.
Baruch atah
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishvanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, l'chniknisu v'birktah shel Abraham Avinu.
Amen. And in English, so
We praise you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and who commands us to bring our daughter into the covenant of Abraham.
Amen. Now we're going to add Sarah.
Yeah.
And so you have prepared a very special blessing for your little girl. And so I know in this you're going to share her name, but later you'll share why you've chosen the names that you have as well.
But be a person whose heart will be clear, whose goals will be high, one who will learn to laugh, yet never forget how to weep, one who will reach into the future, yet never forget the past. After all these things are
Hers.
Yeah. This we pray, enough of sense of humour, that she may always be serious, but never take herself too seriously. Give her humility, so that she may always remember the simplicity of true greatness, the open mind of true wisdom, the meekness of true strength. Then we, her family and friends, will dare to whisper that we too have been enriched.
Amen. And Benny and Denise, if you could come step forward and share this blessing for your granddaughter.
Children learn what they live, by Dorothy Lord Nolte. If children live with criticism, they learn to condemn. If children live with hostility, they learn to fight. If children live with ridicule, they learn to be shy. If children live with shame, they learn to feel guilty. If children live with tolerance, they learn to be patient. If children live with encouragement, they learn to have confidence. If children live with praise, they learn to appreciate. If children live with fairness, they learn justice. If children live with security, they learn to have faith. If children live with approval, they learn to like themselves. If children live with love around them, they learn to give love to the world.
Amen. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And Steve and Maggie, you could share this, your blessing.
May you know the gift of friendship and feel the sun upon your face. May you win displaying dignity and accept defeat with grace. May you marvel with the wonders of nature and the earth. May you value education and know your own true worth. May you live and love with honesty and do the things that's right. May you stand up for the homeless and sleep in peace at night. May you thrive upon a challenge and sing and dance and laugh. May you know the joy of parenthood and follow your own path.
Beautiful, thank you. Follow your own path, the most important words almost, I think. Richard Pierre, bring this beautiful little girl to the front, and can you share with us what her name is and why you have chosen these names?
Sure. So Hebrew name first we've chosen is Dorit, which means generation, and that's also the name of my auntie who passed away when we were quite young. And she was very big into learning and education, and I think she'd be a little embarrassed but equally excited that we've chosen the name Dorit. And then the English name, Harper Ava Monheit, a little kosher ham, as we call her.
You got it right, H-A-M, Harper Ava Monheit, H-A-M.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks for the explanation.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Just in case.
So, look, there was no historical naming around any of the names. I guess probably the one name that people might know or have some association with is Harper or Harper Lee, who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird. And she was, big on justice, equality, and also education. So I just thought I'd tell you one quick story about my auntie Dorit, which I think probably encapsulates both of them. Hopefully that some of the values that she comes up with. So when I was about 5 or 6 years old, I just got a brand new BMX, and I was pretty excited about my brand new BMX, as you are, quite silver and shiny. And we had quite a long driveway in my house. So I used to ride up and down there, every day, every opportunity that I could. And on Saturday, my auntie Dorit was coming over, as she did as a family tradition, would have some family over every Saturday. So I saw her pull up in her blue Celica, which was one of her prides and joy that she just agreed to sell that day, pretty much. So it was getting picked up, everything was done. Very, very happy about the whole situation. So I see her park, and I see her get out of her car and start walking. And as a result, I get onto my BMX and kind of start riding as fast as I could to kind of show off my awesome new bike. Now, as I got to the end of my driveway, I kind of realised that the road's coming up, and being a good young student listening to my parents, don't go on the road without an adult, there or whatever. So I was like, all right, quick, I've got to get off. I hadn't quite worked out how to brake yet, so I decided to kind of abandon ship and jump into the grass area off my bike. So I was pretty happy because I didn't actually, hurt myself. Landed on the grass, was pretty happy. I get up to look at my auntie to be, congratulated on my effort, and she wasn't looking quite so happy. While I'd gone right to go land on the grass, the bike had actually gone left and taken a massive graze along the passenger side of her car that she was about to sell. So what do you do when you're 5 and you do something like that, or 5 or 6 years old? I pretty much started crying and went and hid. And, and so I hid where else but in my cupboard, as you do, because that's where you think that's a good place to hide, no one's going to find you. So I went and hid in my cupboard, and after about 5 or 10 minutes and everyone kind of the hoo-ha had finished, she came and found me, and she opened the cupboard, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry, terrible, whatever. And she's like, look, it's fine, it's just a car, we're family, I'll get over it, it's not a big deal. But what have you learnt about what happened? And I'm 5, I'm like, I don't know. She said, well, if you want to impress the ladies, you better learn how to brake. So I'm hoping that, my Harper will take that thirst for knowledge, the education, and really kind of, pick up both the aspects of family and generation, and also the willingness to learn and gain knowledge. So that's kind of the naming we've chosen.
Beautiful, thank you. And so let us share this blessing of naming. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu kayem et hayalda hazot la'avia ul'ima v'ikra shma b'Yisrael Dorit bat Hanan v'Chava. ישמח האב ביוצא חלצה ותגל עמה בפרי בטנה. זה הקטנה הגדולה תהיה כשם שנכנסה לברית, כן תיכנס לתורה ולחופה ולמעשים טובים. Our God and God of our ancestors, sustain this child for her father and her mother. Let her be called in Israel, Dorit, the daughter of Chava v'Chanan, of Chava and Hanan. May her parents rejoice in her birth and be happy each and every single day that she is with you. Give thanks to God, because God's mercy is constant. May Harper grow big and strong in her character, and as she enters into the covenant, may she enter into a life of Torah, of loving relationships, and of good deeds. And we say,
Amen.
Amen. And so I'll ask you, Richard and Pierre, place your hands on Harper's head as Councillor Loom and I share in this Birkat HaKohanim, the priestly blessing.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
Harper, may God bless you and may God protect you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונקה.
And Harper, may God show you favor and true graciousness in this world.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך ויעצם לך שלום.
And may God lift you to wondrous rights, taking you on the adventure of a lifetime, and of course along that journey give you the blessing of shalom, of peace, and we say
Amen.
Amen. And just before we make kiddush, we have some wine which you'll take just a drop and put on her lips. I do have for you over here a little Torah. I can't reach it, I'm too short. No, it's for you. It's for Harper, a little Torah for this moment. And of course a certificate which please place on her wall. Because we know it's not real until you have a certificate. Of course. And so if you could dip your finger into the wine and let us join in the blessing for Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Amen. And let us join in the Shehechianu together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Amen and Mazel Tov. Oh, she's so cute.
Mazel tov, mazel tov, simmen tov, simmen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmen tov, simmen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmen tov. Yelanu, 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 oh, bechol Israel. Yelanu, yelanu, oh, bechol Israel. David melech Yisrael, Chai vekayam. David melech Yisrael, Chai vekayam.
Amen. Let us turn to Aleinu on page 586 and let us rise as Cantor Lalum opens the ark for us.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
And as we remain standing, we turn to Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. As we share with you the names of Shiva and for Shloshim, the 7 days and the 30 days of mourning, and then Yahrzeit. And so we share the names of Eva Fain, Sandra Korn, and Alexandra Obarzanek as part of our Shiva. And for the Shloshim, we remember Ian Fredman, Gerald Israel, Jeanette Moritz, Charles Slover, Nina Tribberspears, and Stella Waxman. And for the Yahrzeits that have occurred on this Shabbat and that have fallen in the last week, we remember Moshe Beyer, Judith Block, Martha E. Cohen, Esther Ezra Daniels, Ezra George Daniels, Philip Heyman, Harold Escobar, Trudy Fox, Wida Claire Joseph, Jeffrey Kahan, Joseph Liu, Haskell Jack London, Lee Maisel, Patrick John McGrath, Paul Anthony Meese, Irene Popper, Michael Ravak, Gertrude Rose, Maud Solomon, Henrietta Vogel, Richard Wilkin, and Polly Zent. If you'd like to remember the name of a loved one for Shiva, Shloshim, or Yahrzeit, please do so on the chat online or here in the congregation. If you'd like to remember someone, please share their names out loud. Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may the memory of the righteous be for a blessing as we join together in one voice as is our custom. Again, page 598 with Kaddish Yatom. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, v'yamad divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, chayachon of yom echon, uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agalav izman kariv v'meru. Amen.
Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lal me'almaya.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתדע ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעולם מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בימה וימרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. Hamakom Yenachem Echem Betosha Havlei Tzion Yerushalayim. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved in Zion and Jerusalem and around the world. And we say, Amen. So friends, I'd like to invite you to be seated and invite our President, Joanne Lowy-Irons, to share some words from the Board of Governance. And then Tammy and Rabbi Lazaro will join us on the beamer to welcome our B'nai Mitzvah students once more.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom. What a beautiful way to bring in Shabbat. Thank you to Rabbi Ettlinger, Councillor Loom, and Ido, and of course our wonderful Bina students. I look forward to celebrating your bar mitzvahs when they come along. A little bit of information to those that are actually watching online about our Bina students. The group has been learning over this past semester. They've been involved in a variety of activities, some of which had to be adapted due to COVID restrictions, and this was beautifully achieved by our mashpia, Tammy Cohen. So mazel tov to Tammy as well. It was also certainly wonderful that Abby joined us through technology from Adelaide, and we wish her mazel tov as well. Mazel tov to Pierre and Richard on the naming of your beautiful daughter. May you be blessed with a lot of health, happiness and sleep. Only 2 announcements tonight. The Rosh Chodesh Women's Group will meet on Sunday. It's a Zoom Rosh Chodesh session at 7 p.m. Please speak with Kim for the link details, and this month's topic explores the historical and contemporary issues behind Brit. Next door's family-friendly, feel-good afternoon is on Saturday the 26th of June, 4 o'clock till 6:30. It's here at TBI. We will be packing soup bags from Amazon Australia, playing games, having soup and hot chocolate, and then moving into Havdalah. So I hope everybody will join us. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thanks, Joanne. So mazel tov to all of our B'nai Mitzvah families. For the rest of the community, I'll share that in addition to what Joanne shared, our group, most of which are here this evening, but not everyone could be with us, are becoming B'nai Mitzvah in the second half of this year. And in addition to their one-on-one learning, their tutoring where they're learning the prayers and how to participate in leading the service for their ceremony and reading from Torah, we also participate in the Bina program, which is a group program with the goal to understand what does it mean for each of us to become B'nai Mitzvah. What are the parts about Judaism that are important to each and every one of us and that resonate for us as we become adults within the community. And we've had the opportunity to share with the extended community participating in our daily daven, with our students learning the tech behind the scenes in the sanctuary, outside in our Lag BaOmer bonfire. We participated in the service as well, and connected our lives in the synagogue with our Jewish lives at home, baking challah from our own homes, participating in a project with Project Dignity, which we finished packing this evening, donations to give to those in need. So our program brings together all elements of Jewish life and helps our students understand what it means for them to become adult members in our community. I'm going to let them share what this journey has meant to them so far, and we wish them mazel tov as they move forward. For those in the sanctuary, we're going to play a quick video, which you'll be able to see on the stream as well, but people here, you might wish to look at this screen if that one's too far away, which it is for me. So.
Bina taught me about the history of Jewish people and why it's so important that I am Jewish. Therefore, as I become bar mitzvah, I want to learn more about my religion.
Bina has taught me that learning can be fun and then I can meet new people. Therefore, as I become bar mitzvah, I want to teach what I learned to others.
Bina taught me that all Jews are different. Therefore, as I become bat mitzvah, I want to be as great of a young woman as I can to show how being Jewish does not only mean reading from the Torah.
Bina taught me to respect the community, and therefore, as I become bar mitzvah, I'll try to be more aware about the problems going on around me.
Bina taught me to be with and care for community. Therefore, as I become bar mitzvah, I want to be with the community and share my journey with the community.
Bina taught me about the different ways you can be Jewish and the different ways people celebrate Judaism. Therefore, as I become bat mitzvah, I want to be a part of the Jewish community and come to more events that the community holds in the future.
Bina taught me that I am my own person who can believe what I want and speak my mind without judgment. Therefore, as I become bat mitzvah, I want to continue to grow and discover myself.
Bina has taught me that it's important to celebrate festivals and holidays with your Jewish community. Therefore, as I become a bar mitzvah, I want to continue celebrating with my community.
Bina's taught me about my past, and it's also taught me that learning can be fun while being serious at the same time. And I want to teach the next generation without being boring and antisocial.
Bina has taught me about the different ways Jews celebrate, and when I become bar mitzvah, I want to teach other people about the Jewish religion.
And so I want to add my words of thanks as I come down from controlling screens and cameras to all of our Bina students, but particularly to you, Tammy, for this incredible journey that you've taken them on. But before we finish and leave this place this evening, before we close our celebration of Shabbat, hi Abby, good to have you back on the Bima. I want to recognize that as the first part of your learning journey towards becoming bar or bat mitzvah comes to an end, the next part is moving ahead with pace. We finished our shared learning journey, and that means our individual journeys are really picking up pace. As in the coming weeks and months, we look forward to seeing all of you on the Bimmer as you celebrate your bar and bat mitzvah. And so we want to mark this milestone, as you already heard earlier the service when we marked another milestone, by offering you a blessing for journey and a blessing for movement. And so with Abby up on the Bimmer, I want to invite those of you that are in the sanctuary to come at a distance up onto the Bimmer as Tammy and I offer this blessing for each of you. Please come on up. And if I can ask the congregation to rise as we open the ark. Come on up a little further. Come up in front of the ark. You're going to be getting very close to these scrolls. You can face the ark. Very close to these scrolls and the lessons contained with them over the weeks and months ahead. And we hope that you find as much meaning in these lessons, in these traditions, as you clearly have through this journey to date, through the beautiful words that you've shared and the way you've led our service. And so as we mark one end and a new beginning, we offer you again this threefold blessing. May God, all these people in this room, all the people joining us online, bless you, keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'choneka.
May the light of our tradition shine down upon you just as the light beams out upon this ark, and be gracious to you, guiding your way and giving your life meaning.
Adonai, Adonai, panav elecha
wherever it is that this journey takes you, may it continue to be a place of meaning, a place of purpose, a place of joy, but most of all, may it be a place of peace. And to that we say, Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will. Amen.
Amen.
And we wish you Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
Going to conclude our service with Kiddush and Motzi, as those who are leading the prayers can stay at the front and everyone else can join their families. We do have challah, wine and grape juice at the back of the sanctuary as well that everyone can take as we move through, but we'll stay up the front here in a moment for the brachot. And a fresh Kiddush cup for you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
And to that we add,
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. May the two of you, may each and every one of you, may all of us have a Shabbat Shalom.
We conclude with the words of Hine Matov.
Hine Matov.
ומנעים שברכים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שברכים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שברכים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומנעים שברכים גם יחד.
How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.